Welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. In studio with us this morning is Sharon May S. Walker. Of course, she's CEO of JANAAC Global Accreditation. Of course, they're the big accreditation in Jamaica, responsible for ensuring that all the standards, all the labs, everything is up to international standard. Did I get that right?
You got it right. Good morning, Niels. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us. JANAAC, a very, very important agency under the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce.
Yes.
Explain for our viewers, who or what is JANAAC?
So the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, we are now trading as JANAAC Global Accreditation. We rebranded in June 2024. We're excited about the rebranding because we have since 2007 when we were incorporated. We started operations in 2008.
Yes.
But we have since then been achieving our mandate of providing accreditation services to our conformity assessment bodies. And conformity assessment bodies are simply those bodies who check to see if maybe a test or they inspect to see if a service is complying with a specification. So our conformity assessment bodies are laboratories, our inspection bodies, and our certification bodies. So we accredit these institutions to assure the public and their stakeholders that whether it is a test or an inspection or a certification, that it is in line with international standards and that it can be trusted. So our mandate is to facilitate trade, is to support our consumers to ensure that they get value for money, and to undergird the quality infrastructure in Jamaica.
All right, sounds like a mouthful, but just for the clarity, you know, because many viewers looking on, they say, but JANAAC accreditation, but then there's Bureau of Standards, there's the certification people. What's the difference and what's the relationship between JANAAC and all of these other people?
Excellent question, and I'm very happy, Jamaica, to share with you and for our viewers wider afield to share with you that the Bureau of Standards, our national standards body, and they also wear the hat of being our National Metrological Institute, meaning they are responsible for weights and measures. They complement the JANAAC Global Accreditation. I almost said Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation. Bear with me. That is our parent name, and we still have it registered on our documentation, but we are trading as JANAAC Global Accreditation. And the three pillars of what we describe as a national quality infrastructure are crucial to ensure that quality in all its formats can be recognized. Why do I say this? Because for you, quality is different. It may be, of course, you know, the wonderful suit you're wearing. You have to make sure that it complies with what you describe as quality. It could be that someone who is manufacturing a good, maybe it's a food product, they want to ensure that the quality product that their consumers, their stakeholders need meets, maybe it's a food safety standards, or if it's a liquid product, it meets water quality standards. So quality may be different, but it has to be fit for purpose. Yes. So the three pillars of the quality infrastructure, the accreditation body, the standards body, and the Metrological Institute together work to assure our stakeholders in all of the varying layers of our quality infrastructure that when they go to market to buy something, that they are getting value for money. And I know that's what the Jamaica Stock Exchange is all about.
Of course.
You want to assure your stakeholders, those persons who are operating businesses, those persons who are buying stocks, that when they buy stocks in a particular company, that they can trust that the stock is going to remain and the value is going to only increase over time. So for the accreditation body, that's what we do for the conformity assessment bodies that we provide services to. So as the accreditation body, the difference between us and the national standards bodies is that we use the standards that are developed, whether they're national standards or international standards that are adopted by our Bureau of Standards. We use them as the criteria for our assessments of our conformity assessment bodies. We have a number of standards that maybe some of our viewers or stakeholders are familiar with. For example, the ISO 9001 standard, because the Jamaica Stock Exchange is certified to this standard. And I wanted to use this one because it will give an important difference. So the Jamaica Stock Exchange is certified to the ISO 9001, which is a quality standard. But JANAAC accredits the certification body that certifies the organizations that use, for example, a ISO 9001 standard. So JANAAC is at the top of what we call the conformity assessment pyramid. So we provide the overarching trust to the entire system, because yes, you have conformity assessment bodies that are working and they're issuing certificates, but how can you trust that certificate? How can you know that that certificate, if you use it outside of Jamaica, that it will be received by your stakeholders? And that's what we do. So when we are approved by the international organizations, and we are proud to be signatories for 4 international standards with the International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation. So we are signatories for the ISO IEC 17025 standard for testing laboratories. And testing laboratories covers a wide plethora of labs. So these are your food testing, your electrical testing, your concrete testing, environmental testing labs. We are also signatories for the ISO 15189 standard. This is a standard that governs medical testing laboratories. For the ISO IEC 17020 standard that governs inspection bodies. And again, inspection bodies are so wide. Most persons will think of inspection bodies like for food.
Yes.
And we are proud that we have accredited a number of inspection bodies in Jamaica, or national inspection bodies that work with food. But we also provide services to motor vehicle inspectorates, to those persons who are doing loss adjustments. They're inspecting vehicles and whatever. We provide accreditation services to them. For your electrical inspectorates, for your building inspectorates, so the NWA and their road inspections, bridge, we provide accreditation for all of these inspection bodies. And we also provide accreditation to our certification bodies. So whether they're certifying processes, like for example, the Jamaica Stock Exchange was certified to the ISO 9001 standard, or it could be they're providing certification for products or for persons, because you can certify persons, professionals, right? Yes. And we also provide, so the services that we offer are far reaching, and in terms of its impact with Jamaica and what we do is very important. We also, before I know you're coming back with another question, but I just wanted to add that JANAAC also has international recognitions from the US FDA. So JANAAC, we are one of 4 accreditation bodies across the world that have been approved by the US FDA for their accredited third-party certification program. And it's a big deal for us because, Jamaica, we're little but we're tall, right? Yes. And JANAAC, of the 4, we have the largest scope. So there are 11 possible scopes. We have 10 of the 11, right? And then, of course, we also are one of 8 accreditation bodies that have been approved by the US FDA for their laboratory analysis for food program, the LAAF program. So we are proud of the accreditations we have. And my team would just knock me on my wrist for me to forget that we recently, in 2024, March of 2024, we are also signatories to the ISO IEC 17025 standard for calibration labs. So those labs that calibrate
how do you
equipment.
all of these names and
It becomes a part of you, right? So it's like it's ingrained,
Yes.
right? So, and when you enjoy what you do, it just rolls.
So tell me, so you're the global accreditation body, and you have all of these agreements in place. You're accredited by the US FDA, which is big.
Yes.
If you're one of top 4 in the world, then
Yes.
it's a big thing. How important is it, though, for our certification bodies to have an accreditation body at the level that you operate? Because yes, it is there, and our viewers are hearing that you do the checks and balances, you do the assessment. How important is this for these certification bodies to have a JANAAC in place?
Right, and I would say I'd widen it, not just for the certification bodies, but all our conformity assessment
Yes.
bodies, our labs and our inspection bodies. Because when you are performing certain services in Jamaica, you want to know, especially for those of our companies that are exporting, whether they're exporting products or services, you want to know that the results that are generated here in country, that they will be accepted in your target markets. And this is why accreditation is important. We facilitate trade because trade, and I use the analogy of a visa. So I will say some persons use the analogy of a passport, but I will say there are many persons with passports who never
Still
ever
can't.
travel, right? Because
Yes.
they have not been given the visa. So accreditation is like that visa. It's a stamp of approval that opens the doors. It lifts the barriers. It says that when someone picks up a test certificate and they see on it JANAAC Global Accreditation, and they see our accreditation mark, and they flip through, take out their smartphone and they say, all right, let me check to see if JANAAC is recognized anywhere else in the world. And they go to the international sites, International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation. They will check and they will see, yes, JANAAC is approved for these scopes. Or they will go to a regional body, the Inter-American Accreditation Corporation. They'll check and they'll see that we have the approvals, and they will say, yes, based on the agreements that we have, you need to trust this result that is coming from this entity because it has the stamp of approval. And I have the privilege of right now being the vice chair of the Inter-American Accreditation Corporation. I also have been for the last maybe 6 or so years a member of the executive of the International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation, where I am the co-chair for the Joint Development Support Committee. So I work with accreditation bodies around the world that are either new, developing, or are from developing countries. So it's important that our manufacturers or exporters understand the difference with using a conformity assessment body, whether it's a certification body or a laboratory that is accredited by a recognized accreditation body. Because we have accreditation bodies that are not yet internationally recognized. So you want to make sure that you're using first a CAB or lab inspection body or certification body that's accredited, but they must be accredited by a signatory. And so we urge, information is key, because when you are well informed, you can make decisions based on the information that you have. And so we are using these fora to tell our stakeholders that it's not just about spending your money with the person who has the lowest bid. is spending your money with the organization that can best help you to achieve your strategic objectives. Your objectives of expanding your markets, your objectives of building your customer base. Because, you know, it's not just about what we export. And sometimes our manufacturers think they must focus just on those products that are exported. But because of the World Trade Organization's technical barriers to trade agreement, and of course the liberalized markets globally, it means that we in Jamaica, because of free trade, you are competing with the world.
Sharon May S. Walker, you see now why she's the CEO of JANAAC. She knows and understands the importance of accreditation. Are you looking to trade? Are you looking to export your services? Are you just looking to ensure that you have the quality? JANAAC will help you get there. The reason we bring you this program is because we give you information to make better financial decisions. Come back with us tomorrow morning at 9. We'll have another wonderful program lined up for you.